Hello boys and girls in Seville. I'm sorry I can't be with you today. Due to work commitments, I'm in South Africa with my job. But thanks to your technology saving my life, I have a very important story to tell, which I hope you will enjoy in the following video. The day itself I have very little recollection of, and obviously how I was feeling. It was the 11th of May, Cup Final Day 2013. I remember that distinctly because I do remember actually waking up the day after, some 36 hours after the incident, to ask who won the Cup Final. The rest of the recollection comes back from people telling me what had happened on the day. Other than saying goodbye to my son at 8 AM that morning and setting off to the local park, driving in the car, I couldn't honestly say what happened. But from waking up, the facts of the day have been replayed to me. On the day itself, apparently I collapsed and had a double heart attack. There was blood and guts everywhere, but thanks to some, the people who were there on the day, I had an off-duty nurse called Dina Coggan. I had our family GP, Dr. Emma Spencer, and I had one of my fellow runners who went in the ambulance with me, chatting to me, trying to keep me alive. But I don't remember that bit. But apparently, the CPR was administered. There were 6 goes on the defibrillator. The paramedics turned up. By a strange chance of fortune, the ambulance station was literally 2 minutes away from the park. They could run from there to the park. It was quicker than driving, to be honest with you. So how things came together, you couldn't write the script. It's a bit like, Dallas guys would be struggling on this one. And it moved on beyond that as well to what happened in the hospital, Huddersfield Royal Infirmary. There I had a second heart attack. The resus team were on hand. They put me in an ice-induced coma. So altogether I think I had 9 goes on the defibrillator, 6 on the first one, 3 on the second one. And then they told me that I was on Lucas 2 for about 2 hours, which all I remember when waking up was thinking, Patrice Nuamba, the footballer guy. I thought, well, he's been on that, and he did an hour and a half. So 2 hours, must have been in some serious condition. I'm obviously a runner, and I was before the heart attack. I've done 4 marathons, and ironically enough, before the heart attack, I'd just completed my fastest ever marathon in 3:29. I thought I was in good condition. Some 5 or 6 months before the marathon itself, I was still in training. I was going out at 5 AM in the morning, and I did get some chest pains across here, which only lasted for like the first mile, and I put it down to the cold weather at first. It was, the time of the morning. I went to see my family doctor, and we did like the asthma tests, and we had tablets for acid reflux, and we thought that was the end of it. But obviously, it could have been a warning sign. But there's certainly one thing that running has done for me, and people said of the day, it's either caused me a heart attack or it saved my life, because if I hadn't been at that park at that day with those people, I wouldn't be here now. And how those events came together. I think somebody said the survival rate's less than 6%, so 94% chance of dying if it wasn't for how things turned out. How I've recovered since, that in itself is another minor miracle, because within 7 weeks I was back at work. Within 3 months I'd completed the rehab. I always looked at going back to running, even having like the rehab classes with the local support. I remember going to where the rehab was, and they had treadmills, and I pointed to them and I said, when do we get to use those things? And they said, well, you don't, you've got to go to another hospital for that. So ultimately we ended up having a stress test. By the end of August, I'd been to see the consultant, and he'd fully discharged me and basically said, no more PBs and no more marathons, but you can run up to 30 miles a week, as long as you keep your heart rate below 140. So I've got the polar heart rate monitors. So yeah, I've stuck to that 30 mile a week of keeping healthy and running. I don't no longer run competitively. I mean, I do a few 10Ks for charity, but I predominantly go out and do my own thing now. up to 10-mile distance, and I'm planning a charity event later on in the year at the local football club to raise money for the air ambulance. Although I didn't get to use the air ambulance on the day because they didn't think I'd make it, it'd be nice to put something back. The team who've put together Lucas 2 and the defibrillator that saved my life, which I believe is you guys, I'd like to thank you very much and wish you well. I mean, this is a product that should sell itself without a doubt, and I owe my life and my family over there, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Nearly filling up, huh?
Nearly. You really are.